Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. Only a brief update, don't really have much time, but I wanted to update you about what's going on because Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin has lost again a little bit, but overall I think it's only a small retracement at the moment. It's generally looking not too bad. And if we take a look here on the chart where I had the ABC correction drawn in, you might remember from my last video or one of my last videos that we actually came into my target range exactly between 54 and 57K. However, we have only very briefly touched it, so I was never sure, had we already really hit the target, do we come down once more? At the moment, it's looking like we're really moving away from that level. We're above the 20-day moving average here as well, and we seem to really start to see a impulsive move to the upside. Well, we haven't really finally moved above 63.6K, which is that previous high here. We've only briefly touched that level yesterday, came slightly above, but broke down again. For me, that was not a confirmation that we have come above that previous swing high here. We need to get above that swing high for me to build a suitable structure for further continuation to the upside. What makes me more confident that we continue to move up from here is also that Ethereum is really making new all-time highs. We don't normally do that in a corrective phase. So that is looking more likely than that Bitcoin from here will continue to move up. Obviously, at the moment, Bitcoin is currently, and this is probably from my last video, this descending wedge here. Let me just take that out. I just want to show you the fib levels because I think that retracement that we're doing here right at this moment is just completely normal. Let's start from down here where that move up began and to the top. And there you can see that we are on our way to the golden pocket at 62K, pretty much 62.1K. However, we have not just touched that yet, but we found support so far at the 62.5K level, at the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level of the most recent move to the upside. So that could just be what we're doing here, could really just be a bull flag, from which we then move up further. So, the altcoins today were pumping. Now Bitcoin is retracing a little bit. The altcoins going down a little bit again, like Cardano, which was already at a much higher level, is now back to 206. And we're going to take a look at that in a minute. But overall, Bitcoin is doing really well. I think it's normal retracement. We're making higher lows here, making higher highs. We need to stay above the 20-day moving average, in my view. We found support here in this zone a little bit. It's looking not really like it's really respecting the price, but overall you can see that we dropped here briefly, but we found support in the end. So it could really finally be that push that we need here to get above that 63.6K. Maybe in that next move up here from here, if that is a real bull flag like this one here was, another one, and maybe another one then from here, then we could move up above that B wave here and continue really in a new structure to the upside. Have maybe another correction down here before we then finally push through and complete that complete that move to a new all-time high. Now Cardano obviously finally been positively affected by the positive move that Bitcoin is doing, and Cardano broke through today very instantly from 195 all the way up to $2.13, even a little bit higher, 214. 213 I had on the chart here from earlier was one of the resistance and support levels that we had on the chart from the previous weeks. And also 210, well, we got above 210, that was where the 20-day moving average was. We now broke below it again, touching the 203 level again, but that was bought up very quickly, which in my view is a very bullish sign actually that we can continue our way up here because we didn't break below 203. Now if you remember here in that move here, when you can look at the mouse, that move here in the last few days, we were not able to get above the 203 level. That is different now. We stayed above, below 203. We had a time where we were above $2, but to be honest, I did say that before, the $2 level for Cardano is not actually that significant. It seems to be that $2.03 level, which is more meaningful for some reason. So overall, I think it's starting to look really good for Cardano. That retracement probably had to happen. You have to have a certain retracement. It was quite a big move in the end, but of course we want to have it continue from here. We need to get above the next few highs. So we have that $2.10 level now again to cross, that we have fallen below again, which is also then above that 20-day moving average. Then we've got the 213 level where we just didn't get through now. You could also say maybe it was the 215 level. In the end, it doesn't matter. It's only prices are very dynamic anyway. Then we've got the 50-day moving average here at around 216, 217. And above that, we've got all of these highs here, all of these peaks. There's a lot we need to get through, to be honest. I think as soon as we get above 230, 232, we can be sort of sure as you can be in these markets, that we are going to continue our way up. It is hard to say. It is always hard to say, and you never know. But what we can be certain, I mean, the Elliott Waves can give us a hint, yeah. And based on the Elliott Wave theory, we haven't completed our main wave 3 yet, so this is still to come. And that is why, you know, this noise here, it is often so hard to predict. But to be honest, I think we've called it quite well on this channel with that E wave up here, where then you move out to the downside, and it did that. It hit my target level of 180. Since then, we've moved in a sideways move now, and we've been waiting for the move up. Wasn't sure at this stage, is this already the correction, the finish of the correction or not? And we don't know it yet. We don't know it yet. This could still be in a correction. It could just be a move up currently because Bitcoin is doing fairly well. What you need to see, if we extend that trend line, which I had here actually on the chart, we pretty much hit that resistance. So it could just be another peak touching that trend line. And from here we go down once more. Yeah, it is still a possibility. We are not out of the woods yet. Yeah, this is still a possibility. I showed you a few, even though I'm very bullish on Cardano, absolutely, and these days make it worth, you know, the wait. But still, I showed you on the weekly chart here before that this is what we did before. We came down to the 200-day moving average. We moved up, extended away from it massively, came down, and we haven't. Back here in July, we actually came below the 200-day moving average to $1. Now, I'm not saying we go down to $1 again, but maybe we cross the 200-day moving average at 180 once more, and then from there shoot up. I don't know. What certainly is important that we now see a green candle emerging here, which is good. And on the daily here, we can see that we have not come through the 50 on the RSI. I did say before on the 50, if we get through that, that will be the breakout. Now, I think we're briefly above it. It was not sustainable. So this is really my breakout point here, the 50-day, for the 50 level on the RSI. We have been below it now since, well, pretty much the beginning of September, yeah, and we need to get above it, and that could be really a major sign that we have a breakout point here. First sign, you know, then the moving averages, take them into account, the 20 and the 50, and the higher we go, the more likely it will be that we continue our way to the upside, because essentially also what you probably have here is probably something like a wedge here, you know, could say that potentially probably is something into it. I need to look into it further. It's a bit messy. So yeah, and then from here obviously break to the upside at some point here. Yeah, so that also would mean that we could come down a little bit more. It doesn't matter, guys. I mean, I'm a long-term holder, you know that, and especially for Cardano, I'm in there for the long run. I think you are as well, most of you guys. Cardano is not for short-term trading unless you pick up one of these major trends. And overall, I think it's just, you know, ride the wave, be in it for the long run, reap the rewards at the peak of the, ideally at the peak of the alt season. And this time we're not going to miss the peak. I'll give my best here to keep you informed about when to take profits. If you're interested in it, I'm sure most of you are, and I will keep very close to it. So I'll keep you updated about Cardano. Let's see what the day brings. My view from here is probably going to move sideways, would be my view, because it has pumped a lot today for Cardano, for what it has done in the last few days and weeks. And Bitcoin is also consolidating at the moment. I think also waiting here for another pump. I think now if Bitcoin continues to pump, then Cardano should follow. We can see that on the ADA BTC chart. It is starting now to move together with Bitcoin, has stopped to just fall down from here. We see you know, bullish divergences. I mentioned that yesterday, that we see bullish divergences on the ADA BTC chart, and today you get the peak. So yeah, we are starting to see a move of Cardano into a turnaround from Bitcoin outperforming Cardano to, yeah, we finally hit the top, hit the low, and Cardano will start to outperform Bitcoin. All right, so I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button, and if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.